1999. That's the year Austin Powers 2 came out.
So, people are getting pretty worried about this Y2K problem, huh?
No, they fixed that 900 years ago.
Just bear with me, sir. Anyway, I'm walking to work this morning.
I doubt it.
For a lot of technology in the 20th century, memory was incredibly limited. Instead of measuring time with 4 digits, let's say 1999, it was much more efficient to just type in 99. Problem was, what's going to happen when we reach the 2000s? Will computers measure that as 00, 100? How does that affect all data? Will airplanes fall out of the sky, banks and the economy crash? Imagine if electricity or even water stopped working. That paranoia gave us this subgenre of TV episodes based around the Millennium Bug, and that's what I'm counting down. From worst to best, it's all the Y2K episodes I could find. Always remember, 0% of Doomsday predictions have come true. Then again, there's a first for everything. It's Juice and Jam time!
Oh no! It's the Y2K bug!
Actually, I prefer Millennium Bug.
While all computers haven't crashed in the year 2000, you can still keep your data safe with Dashlane, who sponsored this video. You now have an all-in-one code breaker to manage all your passwords that you've probably forgotten about. Dashlane will fill in your passwords, personal info, and credit card numbers anytime you want to quickly get through logins or shopping. No more playing 20 questions each time you click Forgot Password. Dashlane works on everything: Apple, PC, Android, and Chrome. You even get a VPN to keep your info safe and dark web monitoring to track if your identity is being bought or sold illegally. Give it a free try for life on your first device at dashlane.com/RebelTaxi and use my promo code RebelTaxi to get 10% off if you want to upgrade to premium. Support me by supporting them. It's Dashlane.
What? My period, you guys. You see, there comes a time in every child's life when they grow up and nature starts to take its course by having you bleed out your ass for a few days every month. You're making that up.
Aw yeah, what sort of hard-hitting social commentary is South Park gonna hit us with in the episode Are You There, God? It's Me, Jesus. Well, it's nearing the new millennium and Cartman got his period somehow by bleeding out his ass. That sounds ridiculous, but I've been in Cartman's place. Kids, eat some fiber bars. I swear I bled a fountain out after rupturing a hemorrhoid. All the guys having a period is the hit new thing, and Stan or Kyle, I don't know which one they are, feels left out.
But what happens if there's someone who never went through puberty?
Never went through puberty? Who never went through puberty?
Kids who didn't get vaccinated. So what does this have to do with Y2K? Well, the episode takes place around that time. The B-plot has the townspeople trying to convince Jesus and God to be there for New Year's once they hit the new millennium. I guess technically it is a Y2K episode, but not the type I was looking for, so that's why it's last place on this list. Alright episode, good message, but not one of my top South Park episodes.
I'm mature. I got my period and you guys didn't. I got my period and you guys didn't.
Why do we only use 2 digits to store the dates?
It saves space.
Yeah, but in the year 2000, the programs won't work because the computer will think it's year 00.
Hey, remember Dilbert? Anyway, here's Dilbert, the UPN cartoon based on a comic strip about working in an office. I have to explain that, since Dilbert is one of those characters people recognize but don't know where he's from. In the episode Y2K, Dilbert and his fellow employees need to assemble as many programmers within the company to update an old mainframe and prevent the Millennium Bug. It's an episode that's a little all over the place, even resorting to a Wizard of Oz parody.
What do you want?
We came to see Mr. Catbert.
What for?
Well, I need 45 more people to help me on the year 2000 project.
I need more time.
I need experience.
I need a memory.
What about the dog?
I'm perfect, but thanks for asking.
Without watching any other episodes prior, I gotta say, Dilbert's talking pet, Dogbert, is such a funny, brutally straightforward character. Makes me wonder why this show hasn't gotten any reruns on Adult Swim or anything. Good episode, but compared to the next contenders on this list, it's the least ambitious while spreading misinformation.
Guess what day of the week is the first day of the year 2222?
Tuesday?
No, but that would have been good too.
That is a goddamn lie because it will be a Tuesday. I want you all watching this from the year 2222 to look at this episode and laugh. Laugh at its incompetence. Also, please regenerate me. I want to see what future cartoons and games look like.
You would have made a great evil mastermind.
Nah, the hours are too long.
Once upon a time in the projects.
Besides me even remembers this. The PJs was a sitcom co-created by Eddie Murphy about a maintenance man living in the projects with his friends and family. In the episode Scarthroat, they're having fun in a new millennium party. It's going great, but they're annoyed by this one Cuban neighbor, Sanchez, who looks like the kind of chain smoker my dad hangs out with. To keep him away from the party, they give him a Y2K survival kit to be in charge of as a form of busy work. Good thing Y2K is just a myth, or is it?
Super, what's going on? Don't you read your Bible? It's the rapture. Oh, Lord, why didn't I read my Bible?
So now everyone has to kiss up to Sanchez for all the supplies he prepared. Even though this episode takes place on New Year's Eve 1989 and was completed in time, WB, who took up the show after Fox, didn't air this episode until 1 year and 1 season later, long after the Y2K panic. Nice going, but we weren't missing much. Good episode, nothing special. Much of the writing is crude and low-hanging. Ironically, I appreciate the crude caricatures they've designed, though some of them I would not trust in a crisis.
You got Cheeto fingers. What should we do with her? I say we grease her. Now hold on. Before you rape and torture me, think on this.
Before they what and torture you?
Before you rape and torture me, think on this.
I can't find any subtitles or scripts for this episode, so let's just skip. I assume she said reap, like reap what you sow, but I don't know. Next.
I know this all seems a little severe, but we can get through this if we just exercise a little self-denial and a healthy sense of fun. Well, those are really one and the same, aren't they?
Happy New! What? Oh no, it's happening.
While not a full episode, this is a non-canon segment from The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror X. If my whore was an X, I would still pay for her. This short is entitled Life's a Glitch and Then You Die, as with all Wreck-It Ralph characters, I suppose. It turns out the Y2K bug was all caused by Homer's incompetence. The world's falling apart, but he don't care.
Well, those ivory tower eggheads have screwed us again. Let's just have some milk and go to bed. Oh, hey, this milk's broken!
It's got a computer chip in it. Everything does.
This planet is a lost cause, and so is the planet within the cartoon. So all the world's greatest public figures get to escape on a rocket into space. The female side of the Simpsons get on board, as Bart and Homer don't. Instead, the two find another spaceship that unfortunately has the celebrities nobody wants.
Dan Quayle and Courtney Love, Tonya Harding, Al Sharpton. Ah! Tom Arnold! What the hell's going on?
During an audio commentary, the crew admitted it was difficult getting a star to voice themselves for this segment because obvious reasons, but they managed to get comedian Tom Arnold. Who's that?
Tom Arnold doing it, I have to say he was a real champ.
He was a great sport. He was totally in on the joke, and he only busted our chops a little bit, and he could have done much worse.
Well, he did it during the recording. He would say a line, and then they'd yell cut, and he'd look over at me and take a shot at me.
Yeah,
he did pick on you. Cut, and then Tom Arnold looking at me saying, "You got to get some sun, man."
This was one of my favorite Treehouse episodes, cramming so much chaos in such little time. Me not knowing who some of these forgotten public figures were at the time only benefits the gag. It almost makes me want an extended version of the episode.
Don't worry, Dad. We'll be dead in 5 minutes.
Not fast enough.
To our families and loved ones.
Except for Chucky.
Hey, he's right there.
Oh, good.
May you have the happiest of New Year's and the most wonderful new millennium, beginning with the year 2000.
2000.
Hey.
I don't think I've ever called something ahead of its time, but Angry Beavers on 90s Nickelodeon totally fits that. It was about two brothers living together in sin, and often surreal stuff happens while they talk over each other in dialogue that feels almost improv. Reminds me a lot of Aqua Teen, Regular Show, Adventure Time, and other shows that came out way later. This was one of the weirder episodes, Brothers to the End. During New Year's, all reality disappears after doing a toast, and the Beavers are trusted to create a new universe, which is an excuse to go much crazier than the typical Beavers episode, but they still keep up that banter.
Fate has chosen you two to initiate the new millennium by starting the world all over again.
Why us?
Yeah, why us? We're just a couple of swinging bachelor beavers, baby.
It's the law of averages. You Beavers certainly couldn't screw up a new world any worse than the one you just came from.
Good point.
Of course, this is non-canon, assuming anyone cares about Angry Beavers canon. This was merely a vision, all caused by the toast they drank.
I think I put too much lime in it.
Lime?
No.
You nincompoop.
Now, I got a Mandela effect here because I swear I watched this episode as a kid and remember Daggett putting wine in there instead of lime, but maybe I misheard. Lime doesn't make sense. I guess the sourness of lime zapped their brains? Okay. That's the only part of the episode that doesn't work, but yeah, Angry Beavers needs more credit. Maybe a Netflix special?
Stay with us as the event of the century continues. Still ahead, performances from Elton John, Billy Joel, Enrique Iglesias, and more, live in our Times Square studio. And Y2K updates. ABC 2000, 24 incredible hours continues.
Haven't you heard? At midnight, every computer in the world is gonna fail. Planes will fall out of the sky, and all the world's nuclear weapons will explode, annihilating the entire planet.
No! Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids.
It's unfair comparing the Simpsons Halloween segment to Family Guy's full episode, The Bomb, but Family Guy takes Y2K episodes to the next level. The apocalypse has come forth, then fifth, and the family must wander the wasteland. While skimming through footage for this video, I always ended up landing on some joke that's still funny to me even after 20 years. True, some of them may drag on forever, but I say this is one of those times where they drag on the right amount. After all, this episode was the beginning of Peter's never-ending battle with his greatest nemesis, Meg. Yeah, this was the episode where Meg's second voice actor, Mila Kunis, took over. Meg's first voice actor was busy with school and the show Party of Five at the time. Oh yeah, and that one chicken debuted in this episode too, I guess.
Oh yeah, and that nice chicken outside gave me this coupon.
I'm sorry, this is expired.
You son of a...
But obviously this apocalypse can't be canon for the rest of the series, so to retcon the episode, we cut to a live-action segment that reveals it was all just a dream. Not to the Griffin family, but to these viewers watching the episode.
Oh, Bobby, I just had the weirdest dream. I dreamt I saw the strangest episode of Family Guy, and there was a giant chicken, and Stewie was an octopus.
Hey, come on now. It's all right, everything's gonna be okay.
This was always strange to me, like, was this a reference to something? Well, it turns out it was. These two were on an 80s show called Dallas, and this scene was spoofing an infamous episode from that series. During Dallas Season 8, the shower guy here, Patrick Duffy, and his character was killed off. Duffy wanted to pursue other roles, but when that wasn't going so well, the actor wanted back in. By the next season, they decided to retcon his death by pretending the entire last season was all a dream. How freaking shameless.
Oh, Bobby, it was awful. When I woke up, I thought that you were dead.
What?
I thought that you were dead.
Looking more into the show was fascinating. Dallas was a big hit, and trying to keep behind-the-scenes spoilers away from tabloids in a pre-internet world was still a challenge. They basically filmed completely unrelated footage to trick tabloids on what the next season will entail.
We shot a whole number of different things to keep the secret going, where I was in a hospital bed and they took bandages off, and I look in a mirror and I go, this'll fool them. We did that one. We did one where I'm an evil twin brother. So, and all of these we let the word leak out so that, all the tabloids would get the wrong idea.
That's pretty typical of Family Guy to reference an 80s show, but the great thing about this was, without even knowing it was a reference, it was still funny. I'll consider this episode among the top 10 of the series.
Holy crap! Anybody else feel that?
Hank, I have dedicated my life to getting ahead of others in times of crisis. This is my time.
Fine, it's your time, so what do we do?
I have no idea.
As crazy as the other episodes I listed got, King of the Hill aims for the opposite. This is a show I always ask, did this need to be animated? Maybe not, but you can't help but love such a down-to-earth cartoon. It wouldn't be the same if it was live action. While I wasn't old enough to remember the Y2K hysteria, this episode, the Millennium, really gives off that looming threat.
There's a run on triple ply bunny soft.
What about quilted aloe vera?
I don't know. It's not my brand.
Well, it's my brand.
The addition of that gloomy weather partially gives me a sense of unease where you know a storm is coming. So many computers are under maintenance and citizens are buying as many supplies as they can. The townspeople are expecting computers to fail on New Year's, but not Hank. He remains optimistic until the hysteria starts to settle in on him too, as it really holds him back from enjoying Christmas. Like it's played for laughs, but really, this sucks, fam.
I love it!
It's a fairly normal episode until we get to the hallucination sequence, the one where Hank gets to meet Dallas Cowboys coach Tom Landry in the form of a whack-a-mole. It makes sense within the context of the episode.
Aren't you scared you're gonna get whacked?
Not every time, Hank. The times you don't, it's pretty sweet. Sunshine, fresh air, a little football on the TV in the arcade. Every time I go up, I see a little more. Well, my turn again.
The Y2K subject dates the episode, but the broad message about the future is forever relevant. What's gonna happen tomorrow? I don't know. Might as well see what happens. Could be good. Maybe they'll remaster the Simpsons Hit and Run, or make a Scud the Disposable Assassin cartoon finally. There might also be things that suck. I don't know. It's like that one quote at the end of Meet the Robinsons. Keep moving to the front and ask for a refund. That's something Disney said at one point, I'm sure.
The Simpsons prepare for the end of the world.
Okay, don't panic. Marge, stop panicking!
Then, trapped at the center of the earth.
I'm gonna die friendless and alone like Weird Al Yankovic.
On King of the Hill, 2 brand new episodes Sunday at 8, 7 Central. So much fear.
We're all gonna die.
Just one Fox.
That's it. The votes are in. Time to watch Cartoon Network on New Year's Eve to see who's the greatest villain of them all. From midnight to 4 a.m., bring the party. Make your New Year's evil.
Worried about Y2K? Get a new Buick.